Ain't funny coming at people like me disrespectfully. Ain't funny. Ain't funny getting at people with the spiritual authority, even testing, even though we pass through tests, but ain't funny at all. It's for a reason, you know. So sometimes you don't even know what's going on behind your back. Most of the time. So they handle that shit out of appropriate of the situation again and again, and as you're guided to, you know, this is significant to understand the level of protection that you have, you know. So it's type of situation like the ancestor, the security in the club got the motherfucker out of the club. You know, you've put yourself out of the club. You know, that kind what it was, that silly test of yours. Listen, regretful energy. Yeah, maybe you gotta regret that. Yeah, so you don't play with people. Pity parties, you call them. I call them pity parties, and it's like a listen. Most of the time I'm in point and it's specific, or if it's specific for a group of multiple people. But I guess that spiritual protection, when you really are, not to boast someone's boat or tickle his ego, but what I'm doing, the sacrifice, when I'm not talking about people sacrifice, I make version of yourself sacrifice to get to that position, you know, to have that kind of authority activated. It gets to a point, some people's cases is past life, some people past life activated in this current time life. So what's known as King of Swords energy, you gotta, you know, that's the energy, you know, it's not about praying about when it comes to them like head over heart. It's a success story, you know. You don't test people, especially when they are growing and improving in themselves, because you don't never know ever what's behind them, because it shows results. And take what is resonate in the spiritual streets, and as we succeeding in things slowly, and a lot of people that we transitioned from as a past energies made us as if in a magician energy. And this is how it works. It's not like maybe they look at you as like a Houdini or something. I don't know. This is spiritual education. How the fuck did he come on, call judgment on my situation, because I know that I'm the alchemist. You know, you can't test people like that. And that's what will put you on your authority, by the way. while you're decreasing, playing like a clown in people's life, and people want to test you and resistant, because people can test you. Things, the universe can test you, God can test you. It works that way, you know. This is automatically anything that you put out as energy, it's gonna be tested. Any energy that you put out in the universe, you're gonna be tested. So you better put a good energy instead of putting a clowning energy, because you're gonna get, your tests ain't gonna be right. You know, it's not about like there's a star warrior coming down and taking revenge on people. It's what you put. You put low vibration energy towards others, you're gonna receive. Especially when the people ascend. Especially when the other person that you came against, he's ascending. You're gonna get that low vibration energy hit, bombarded at you. Nobody's doing anything to you. You know, that's the new version of the new self of being, and self-suffocation of whatever has a bad person has done, or whatever energy they want to siphon. But when it comes to us, you know, when it comes to warriors, no, it's like, I'm not saying a spiritual teacher, I'm a spiritual student still, but it's not gonna go right, you know, it's not gonna go right. If you don't put your fire off, you know, my fire gonna put your fire off. It's the same thing. That's what I'm getting from these energies. Then it comes like a chariot, and your enemies has never known you. And it's like everything is about leverage and psychological warfare, you know. So how could I strike your ego? If you are not living from an ego matter, then mind's supposed to control you. It's a soul being currency, yo. especially in this day and age. You know, are you aware that we are living in day and age now? It's the time of the day and age, the activating and the elevating and the transitions. You know, it's a soul currency that you're trying to drain it by negativity in the DNA age. Are you insane? Compliance to things that I don't stand for or what anything, you know, it's just generality, as simple as that. If it's confined with the moral and standards level of mine, it ain't gonna work. But you're going against yourself, you're not going against the individual, you know, because I, like the individual is ascending. Like, what are you doing? Are you suiciding? That duality gonna give certain things to you, yo, in terms of absorbing. Significant if when you have a person of spiritual awareness and perception and all these concepts, and not about selling your soul or pulling a stake, doing ritual, but some people, dark ass people, do this. But you know, there's people that do these satanic shit, but it's not about satanism. It's about like beliefs and crazy shit, like crazy people doing crazy shit, and there's wisdom. You know, there's wisdom. Knowledge without wisdom, it doesn't worth shit. Like, how do you get wisdom? You fear the Lord. When you fear your Lord, you get knowledge, secret, and wisdom, and what you are aware of. Awareness is big right now. Knowledge and awareness. Hello, infinite awareness, like the soul's currency in terms of the what's backing behind you. The awareness. How can you protect yourself? How can you protect your knowledge? You cannot bind yourself into individuals or attachment to a cord or attachment to something that you don't understand for, you know. Like, I'm talking to these people that are trying to put cord on you or bind on you, and they don't understand what your energy is all about, what's behind it, what's going on with you, you know. Like, you can't do it with people like me. Don't get it fucked up. Don't get it fucked up with principality that you should do this principality and this. No, there's principality. If you don't stand for that principality, you ain't gonna get any win in that principality. Yes. Remember that your principality is in the dark. I'm not afraid to talk about my principality. I don't have principality. I have one Most High that I worship. I don't worship any idolism. And this is the code. You fall for. You don't stand for nothing. You fall for anything. You know. Keep your principalities on your principalities and the people that are less than your principalities. But when it comes to the Most High, don't come bring your principality here. You know, because your ego gonna be crushed, squeezed. You know, it's the depth of redirecting energy from draining situation, and that will give you a fulfillment state of inner fulfillment. It's called as a world card. When you get the word card in the tarot, that's the inner fulfillment. Don't stand in completion of what you believe to be, because that can also affect your money. You know, because you need to unbelieve nowadays, not believe. You need to more to unbelieve. If you don't get yourself out of your self-decision and choices, and you're completely contradictory to what you're telling your mind or what you're telling your own soul, then you're gonna get contradictory amount of results. You're not gonna get the consistent result. It's universally and energetic, transparent and low. Like, if you're telling yourself that I am this person and I stand for this, but I catch myself doing this and this and this, or spending my this, or doing choices like this behind the back, but in my principality I look like this, you know. It's contradiction reflects back to me. That's called fakeness, you know. That doesn't work in the spiritual streets, yo. As the connection of the Most High Creator, and we blame the creations that we are unconsciously create on something that still at the same time giving power to create force. And that's significant for those people. I hope they understand what I'm on about. Reclining all that power back to yourself and calling all that power back to yourself, and picking up on the energy that trying to, while others trying to form a smear campaign, and you're unsuccessful. And what's in you? Come on, what's in you? At the DNA age? Hold on, listen, that fire analogy, like a radio frequency, you know. In last videos, I was talking about the momentous flame. You know, don't know if you watch that, you stock everything. You and tunnel vision. Do you still remember? Like, do you know when people talk about that? Usually, a momentum, on the term of consistency of pattern that you can feel, and that flame. Try to speak against that flame. Are you insane? Or that fire? Like, yo, that's the violent flame. No matter what your flame is hate. My flame is love. That hate can magnify love, can't magnify love, because you have a vibrational control of what the flame contains in you. And that's significant to those same people. Because somebody throwing stabs at your shit, it's just gonna make me harder, because I operate out of love, you know. Like, even when you're stabbing that shit energetically, you know, saying this shit again, saying shit, doing stabs, you know, that's gonna fuel me more, you know, because I operate out of love. I don't operate out of hate, you know. A lot of people's words can affect you, especially if you're empath, but people's perception of you, like, can't fuel you off, and that's a gift. Not to attach yourself and be aware that perceptual control over the situation of the matter because of your power. And people, not every people can feel that, and people unconsciously want to take advantage or going against you. Good luck with that. A lot of people, like, maybe like, if they are doing poverty spells and these things, they're gonna figure it out that they are the one who's getting in poverty, you know. Like, in abundance and resources, we don't operate out of hate. No weapon formed against us shall ever prosper. And we realize that we are multi-dimensional, intergalactic beings, you know. Like, come on, what you on about? I'm trying with these things, like, to be an understanding, yo. At that age, come on, you don't have any basic spiritual knowledge. How you gonna survive at that age, you know? Self-preservation and understanding the importance of your space and minding your own business, so you can be successful by detaching from situations that do gonna take a certain patterns of belief system that may limit you at a certain time. Can you imagine? Like people are fighting, like, you are 100 years advantage of people fighting you with things like, come on, like, you know, like, people, like, you sacrifice your own flesh, like, you don't care about the flesh matter. None of those, like, even past that transition, and they want to fight you in the spirit. You don't hold advantage in the spirit. That's the story, yo. The awareness of where you lacked in your own empowerment. You don't have awareness where you lack in your own power. That's a problem. Like, I have awareness now. I have awareness where I lack powers. You know? Do you? Like, before you're trying to take from me. That's the key of alchemizing situations. In any situations around. Being about the self-worth, it's the perceptual awareness of where it is that, where did we felt unworthy, and where you go depending on that. You can just direct that and the way you need to. It's all energetic. Honestly, it's quite honest. It's manipulation, but you don't need to manipulate energy, and that's when black magic kick in with these people. But you can use it as a fuel. You can transmute it to your sake, instead of being as a stalemate. And these people are looking like this, you know, like, every time we send him something, what's happening? You don't understand how energy works and how this stuff works. You don't understand. You just understand hate. You're just in hate, you know. I'm not trying to make somebody uncomfortable. I'm just trying to spread awareness, and that what bothers them, you know. And overthinking, put that shit out, make them fearful and get them used to be uncomfortable and fearful. Get used to that. You're supposed to make people uncomfortable. You're supposed to make people uncomfortable. Yes. Yo. I thought ancestor selected the crown, and that's not a game. You know, I thought you got the button, but I brought the piano with the do sol la and I started. You know, just illuminating situation, saying protection that you shouldn't have to keep yourself in confronting situation. You shouldn't fight fire with fire. You don't have to worry about somebody throwing a flame into your flame, because your fire ship is so secluded from the idea of or thought of or power or of energy of anybody else. It's solely empowered by the individual, by your own spark. This is very significant, and it gives you the awareness to understand that other people's energy and when they get thrown into you, where it comes from. It comes from a place of projection. A lot of people is unconscious too. Don't get it fucked up. People are not so innocent, but reach out, right? Return of centers and hidden in the purpose, and people unconsciously catch themselves thinking they are hidden. Or things they have said or sent or done, because this space and you taking the intuition and taking space in the intuition and like sit there and perceptually look at that intuition. It's like a fishing net. It's like a fishing net. Like whenever like you ask yourself a question, it's gonna pull down like that, you know, and you can sense it. It pulls like this, and those are signs. And you start writing, you know, letters and numbers, and you start asking that intuition. You know, it's called the highest power, and feel into the fear of what other may feel. You know, when the empath tapped in other people's fear, you feel sorry for them. You feel sorry for them. Look what they are dishing at me, and look at how I'm transmuting. But when you tap and you realize what are their fears, oh God be with them. Like some of them still have issues and fear from childhood, and they are like 40, 50, 60 years old. Oh my God, they still have daddy issue. Like this is all like high in quantum intuitive conversations, and it's gonna be helpful in the perceptual awareness of how we move in this day and age, and moving in emotional, intuitive, and psychological level. It's very psychological. It turns of chords and being aware where you put your energy to, and when you come to awareness and psychology in the spirit realm have a different psychology than the human psychology and what they teach them in those psychology, the best of you know. When it comes to the spirit realm, the whole thing is different. It's all about consciousness and awareness. Like that psychology thing in the spirit realm, it dies. You gotta be aware of these energies. And there's a lot of us are unconscious in battling attachment, and negative attachment is the biggest battle. It's the biggest battle, and these entities, yes, and these patterns of beliefs. You know, we don't wanna believe in ourselves, and that's a problem. To lead to the exodus, yes. This is supposed to lead you to elimination, to illuminate an exodus force for you, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually. And this is a breakthrough. And actually, that's what tarot all about. It's supposed to lead you to transformation, you know, and that it's not about, you know, spying, like spying to know, like watching, reading, doing personally, trying to know, like an individual. Like, I'm sealed, 7 seals, yo. You won't know anything except it will be a feeling of perception, you know, like get on the same level to fight the person. And if you get on the same level, definitely you're not gonna be with that kind of energy. You don't have fighting. Like I'm not fighting with anybody, and that's why I'm able to transform.